Hey everybody, this is Jeremy. That's my theme song, I guess, and I just want to walk you through Jazz Piano Fundamentals Book 3. We're just going to go by fast, talk about some of the things you want to be looking for, some of the things to know about. So here's our table of contents: modal jazz basics, improvising within a single mode, modal cross sections, pentatonic scale theory, pentatonic voicings, modes of the melodic minor scale, comping outside of the mode, modal interchange, modal voicings for tonal progressions, modal blues, odd time signatures, and playing free are the main chapter titles. So if you're familiar with the Jazz Piano Fundamentals series, this should look familiar to you, that each unit has a kind of predetermined pattern. You're going to have an improvisation exercise. You're going to have modal patterns. Then you're going to have some instruction that's going to include some written practice. You can see there's frequently asked questions here. And then as you get going, so here's some written practice about modal voicings, how to practice modal voicings. Every odd number chapter has a transcription project in it. You can see here's Miles Davis transcription. And then every single chapter has a guided listening followed by assignments. And there's usually like 5 to 8 assignments on each chapter, including the transcription project. So the first guided listening here is Freddie Hubbard's Little Sunflower. And so that's the general format of the book. One of the things that I want you to notice is that each unit has this QR code where you can scan to view the homepage for each unit, which includes the answers to the written practice, as well as lots of videos, fresh videos, not just YouTube videos that already exist, that I've created specifically for the book, of me playing each example and explaining each example. And I have also put additional videos from my YouTube channel that relate to each concept. So if you want to kind of have a curated little video experience, we've got that as well. So we're looking at two-handed modal voicings, modal comping, improvising within a mode. Great guided listening from Wes Montgomery and Jimmy Smith. I know not thought of as modal musicians, but their version of Milestones is just a great one. 7 assignments for Unit 2. Improvisation exercise, triads and inversion. We talk about the so what voicing. Modal cross sections includes upper structures, quadratonics, the pentatonic scale, and then this great transcription from Wayne Shorter where you learn a lot about using the pentatonic scale and how he does that. Lots more pentatonic in guided listening 3. The pentatonic scale is definitely, I would say it's one of the main characters of this book. I would say it's one of the main characters of the modal jazz style of modern jazz. And so we talk a lot about pentatonics, a lot about upper structures, cluster and chordal voicings, pentatonic theory, how to mix between different pentatonic scales, guided listening of McCoy Tyner on Passion Dance, pentatonic voicings, is a big subject, pentatonic voicings using multiple scales, using tonal devices in modal context, things like tonicization, tritone substitution, symmetrical scales, and then this great transcription from Kenny Kirkland. It's very playable. It's so fun. Doc Tone from a Branford Marsalis album called Requiem. We get into different modes of the melodic minor scale, modal patterns, planing. Let's see. Oh, no, this is mixing modal voicing types. Some examples here: mode of the melodic minor scale, voicings with melodic minor, inner urge as a guided listening. And now, that's 6 units, so you're about halfway there, and now we're really starting to talk about going outside of the modes. So we could consider this playing out, so we're talking about comping outside of the mode, using things like tonicization, sidestepping, planing. We talk a lot about planing in this book. Good written practice here on all those things. Good practice transposing modal voicings to prepare you to be good at planing. Other pentatonic scales other than major and minor. Corea transcription on Windows, which is good because you hear some of those minor pentatonic, or some of those melodic minor scale sounds there. Modal interchange, another way of playing out. More planing, lots of melodic planing, and how can you resolve planing when you play out. Improvising over changing chords. This great Mulgrew Miller track, One's Own Room, is a great example of planing both harmonically and melodically. practicing modal interchange, modal voicing. So here's where it gets interesting, which is, it's one thing to play out over a modal tune, but what if we want to play out on, let's say, Autumn Leaves? So one of the things that I show you is how to play more modally, both comping and improvising for major and later we'll see minor 2-5-1s. Chordal voicings for major 2-5-1s, lots of written practice, more improvising over changing modes. I love this Herbie Hancock transcriptions from the live album Miles in Berlin. I think you'll learn so much from it. By the way, the answers for all the transcriptions are on the unit pages. So if you can't do it or you want to check how I did it, you have the resources to do that. All right, we've got modal blues, really interesting concept, pentatonic scales and 2-5-1s. So that's more about kind of like playing modal over tonal progressions. Here's your modal voicings from minor 2-5-1s. Okay, modal blues, like I said, I think it's a really interesting topic. Playing the long harmony is another way to play out, and I really show you how. I give you some written practice. Keith Jarrett recording of Billy's Balance is a great example of taking both modal and tonal approaches to playing blues. Okay, then we've got odd time signatures. We're practicing Coltrane changes, planing with symmetrical scales, playing in odd meters, other hand divisions, so different ways, instead of just comping with the left, soloing with the right, other ways to kind of interact between your two hands. Brad Mehldau, of course, is one of the best at that, and he's one of the best odd meter players. So, he's really known for playing in 7. This transcription's in 5, but I think you'd still learn a lot from it. I didn't know what time it was. Great Brad Mehldau solo. And then unit 12, we start dealing with playing free. We talk about layering rhythms. We keep going with playing in odd meters and talk about improvising with and against odd meter claves. Unit 12, playing free. And then this great Jerry Allen, Charlie Hayden, Paul Motion. So here's the index. If I'm going to just kind of pause here if you want to take a look at some of the terms and some of the musicians who get mentioned. I think, this book is just filled with really useful stuff. So I really hope that you enjoy it. The best way to get it is at jeremysiskind.com /shop if you want to go directly there. But if you're international and you want to get a paper copy, you can get it at Amazon as well. Enjoy.